I don't know if it's Shrek or my underwear, but they're both having a fight to see whose swamp it is. Welcome to Ashby Farms, guys. Over my immediate shoulder here, I've got Landon and Nathan. Nathan's worked for me a couple seasons now. First started at our farm and when we were doing tomatoes, and now we're obviously doing bees. And a couple weeks ago, I put up a Facebook page post I live next to a very large neighborhood. And so I just put up a post and asked for help from, I was looking for high school and college age athletic boys, play football, baseball, wrestlers, that kind of thing. And I told them it's hot work. It's out here in the heat, and what is it, 89 today with a humidity of 185, 185%. So right now I could probably wring out my shirt. We're just getting a little Gatorade break over here. We're in the shade. And so we're out here in the yard. You've seen this yard in the past if you watch our channel. And we got fume boards working. I'll tell you what, why don't you boys take a break? I'll go walk them through the yard. Walk you up through this yard, kind of show you what we're doing while they're taking a bit of a break. So I use fume boards to do our honey. We've actually already done, I think, 44 boxes of the 54 that we've pulled. But a fume board, basically, as you can see, it blows them out of the hive. So we're using Honeybee Gone is the product. I really like this. It works well. There's some knockoff brands. I've tried them all. I haven't found one that works as well as that. I reuse this bottle, and then I buy it by the gallon at this scale, but that tends to be about the most economic way. And just kind of show you, that box there didn't have a whole lot. Let's see here. That one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames up here in the middle. So while we're taking a break, we're letting these fume boards work. But there's one. Got a bee on my hand. So when we first showed up, typically all my boxes have already been robbed out, but we had a bunch of rain in central North Carolina. Mebane got 13 inches. It was last Sunday, and then turned around and got 5.5 more inches on Wednesday. In Burlington, we got 8 and 4, so we've had 12 inches of rain just recently. Everything around here is a swamp. So the yards where I typically have the bees rob, I have one yard, it's 8 colonies, and it robs out all my bees. Because my buddy Phil told me, he said, if you think about the thin veneer of honey that's on one frame times, we're going to have close to 10,000 frames of honey this year, deep frames. So, I mean, it's 1,100 boxes. That's a thin veneer of honey across so many frames. And so last year when we did it, it was over 200 pounds of honey that the bees recollected. So that's how we typically capitalize on getting all of our honey. In this case, not having been able to have these already robbed out of that yard, I just brought some wet supers with me. But that was a mistake, because this yard has 27 colonies in it, and we had them sitting right here on the truck. And it was unreal, the amount of bees that were on the truck, and there's no way we're going to be able to stack honey and then this. So we split the boxes up. I'll show you down here. We split the boxes up into 2 different piles, and within 10 minutes, the bees were all over them. So they're robbing these out currently, and that took the attention away from all of our honey here on the truck. So there's some fume boards. Fume boards are pretty simple. They got a metal roof. They got a felt liner inside, and we spray the Bee Gone on it, and it's just a function of time. I run a dozen of these, which allows me to do all my beekeeping. All these colonies right here are going to be going out to pollination here in about 3 weeks. So we're giving them a second box here. Nathan's on a time constraint today, so typically I would feed right now, but I'm just going to come back this evening and feed. I didn't have the time this morning to get my feed and everything together. It's all on my other truck. So we're just giving them a second box. We're going to let these colonies grow out nice and strong to a double deep. This colony here actually made 3 deep boxes. I should have filmed it, but I didn't. Made 3 deep boxes of honey. Zoom in. I mean, that's a hell of a honey crop. Not every colony will make, but that's 9 frame spacing, and you can see the fat frames there. When we run that through an uncapper, it just slices it right off. Works really well. So for now, while we're taking a break here, the bee gone is blowing the bees, literally out of the hives. But it's not bad. That right there, like I said, that's 43 boxes on the truck. To keep the bees from robbing out real bad, I've always used a tarp, and it just keeps the bees at bay, I guess is a good way to put it. Even right now, we're experiencing some robbing. They're getting in right back here, but it's not a ton. And actually, I looked earlier, these are nurse bees that didn't all get out of the hive, but I don't see any active robbing because right now they're all over down there. So it's kind of an update of what's going on here at the farm. So tell a story about these boys. When I met them, I said, I'm 40, but I'm a young 40. And then the first day, they ran circles around me. And what was it you said? You're like, I don't even need to work out today.
Yeah, I don't need to work out. I'm good.
Yeah, I was like, right. Like, work out. I'm on the Body by Bojangles workout program. So, I couldn't have done it. But we're starting to get in a groove. There's one other fella, AJ's been helping us out. And, basically what the rhythm we've fallen into is one guy on the truck. I do the beekeeping, and then so far this morning, Landon's been doing all the running of the boxes to and from to Nathan. Nathan's stacking them, keeping them covered up. And then of course when we get home, so this is 54 boxes in the yard, and then when we get home, we've got 54 boxes to go into the honey house. So a fair bit of work. I used to do this all myself, but I don't know how I used to do it. So I came home and told Corey, best money I've ever spent was paying to get some young backs. I would highly recommend at home if you're, I'm commercial, I make my living keeping bees, but even if you're a sideliner, hire the help. I would come home and spend 2 days on the couch just recovering, and now having these fellas help me, they're invaluable. I've told them a million times, but thanks fellas, could not do this without you. So anyways, guys, that's just kind of a short update. I'll be heading up next week for Sourwood and checking back on those boxes. We should be pulling honey in maybe 10 days or so. So I'll have the fellas up there again. We'll make another video what's going on up there. So until next episode, thanks for watching. See you next time.